good morning YouTube, and welcome to my channel, Jules Craft Room. And I recently received the Crochet Society crochet along, the Blooming Lovely crochet along, and got it here all unboxed. I did do an unboxing video if you want to see it in detail, but I've got the bag with all the yarn in, and I've printed off all the patterns. So there's several. There's the blanket, and then there's the characters, which is the sheep, the hedgehog, the duck, the two gnomes, and the bunny rabbit. And I think also included in the blanket pattern is the little nest with the eggs. So I thought I'd do a crochet along, and I thought I'd start off with the blanket. So as that was the biggest piece, and then see how much yarn I've got left. And then I might tackle some of the animals, some of the little characters. I've got loads of yarn from previous Crochet Society boxes, etc. So I'll probably have plenty to do the animals, but maybe not in exact colour. So yes, so we're going to start on the blanket, and you're using a 4mm hook, and you chain 93. So I'm going to turn you round and we'll start doing that. Right, so we're starting with colour A, which is the rosy apple. And we're going to chain 93. So you do a slip knot. I'm using a 4mm hook. And I'm going to chain 93. Right, so that is 93 stitches. So that works out to be not very long. Let's have a look. It's about 22 inches, so it is a small blanket. I don't know, has it got a size? It says 64 by 71 centimetres, so 64 is 25 inches, so 25. So it's about 25 by 28 inches, so it's quite a small blanket. Maybe for a pram or something like that. But yes, but I suppose if you like the pattern, you could do it on a bigger scale if you wanted to. Right, so once you've done your 93 chain, you then start by chaining into the second chain from the hook, and you do a double crochet. So that's the first chain, so this is the second chain, this one here, and you'll do a double crochet, which is simply yarn over, pull through, and you do a double crochet all the way to the end. So I'll meet you at the end. Right, so I've come to the end and I've counted and I've got 92 stitches, which is what they said I should have. And then you turn and you do 1 chain like that, and you double crochet to the end again. So usually 1 chain doesn't count as a stitch, so you do your double crochet into there. And then you would go along. And then I'll see you at the end. Right, so when you get to the end of row 2, you turn and then you do row 3, and that is exactly the same. That is 1 chain and then 1 double crochet into the same chain space. And then a double crochet all the way along. To the end. And then when we get to the end, we'll be doing changing colour. Right, so when you get to the end of row 3, you're meant to change to the pink colour. And it says change at this end, so I presume what they're doing you change in the last stitch, so I presume what they want you to do is when you pull it through here, instead of pulling through with the green, you pull through with the pink, like that. It's a bit of this yarn catches easily. Pull it through with the pink like that, and then you turn and you'd work. But I like to start with a slip knot because I worry about it coming undone. So I will finish it off like this, cut it, and I will do a slip knot. Then I will join with a slip knot. So I will pull it through like that, then through like that, and that is my join. And then it says to do 3 chain. So 1, 2, 3, 3 chain. And then I like to weave in my ends, so I'll pull them round to there. And then it says in the next stitch do two trebles. That's 1, 2. So you've got your 3 chain and then your 2 trebles. Then it says to miss the next stitch and do 2 trebles in the next stitch. So you miss 1 stitch and then you do 2 trebles in that stitch. And again, miss 1 stitch and then do 2 trebles in the next stitch. Again, miss a stitch and then 2 trebles in the next stitch. And that's what it should look like. Now you carry on to the end and you should have 45 two treble groups. So we'll get to the end and we'll check. Right, so when you get to the end you should have 2 stitches. You can see I've got 2 V stitches there. You miss one and then the last one you do a treble into. And then that's that row finished. And we should have 45 trebles, 45 two treble groups and 2 separate trebles. So the 2 separate ones are the ones either end. So that's that one and that one there. And then we should have 45. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. That's a relief. So 45 two treble groups and a treble at each end. And that's your correct stitch count. And then you can start row 5, and row 5 will be in the pink again. So we'll turn round and row 5 you're going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. And you're going to do 2 trebles in the spaces between the 2 trebles. So you're doing like the V stitch that if you did the hearts and flowers crochet along you'll know about. So yes, you do 2 in there. And you'll carry on doing that all the way along. So you'll do in between each group of 2, you'll do 2 trebles. I really love this stitch, it's such a pretty stitch. And again, in the middle of those 2 trebles, you do 2 trebles. It's 1, 2, and it'll look like that. And you do that all the way along to the end, and I'll see you at the end. Yeah, so when you get to the last stitch, you do a treble into it. I must say this yarn is annoying me a bit. There. And then you turn. And then you start row 6, and row 6 is the same as the last one. And when you get to the end of row 6, you will change colour. So we do 3 chain. And then we do 2 trebles in the middle of those 2 trebles. And again, 2 trebles in the middle of those 2. Again. There, you do that all the way along, and I'll see you at the end of row for a colour change. Right, so we've got to the end of row 6, and now I've fastened off, and you turn, and I'll be joining the next colour, which is a lemon. I think it's lemon drops. And you do 2 chain. And you do a half treble to the end. So a half treble is where you yarn over, pull through a loop, and then instead of just going through 2, you go through all 3 at the same time, and that's your half treble. Yarn over, through, pull through, and then all 3 at the same time. And it will look like that, and you do that all the way along to the end. Right, so I got to the end of row 7, and I just wanted to say, don't forget to go into that last stitch. So at the top of that 3 chain, you go in and do your half treble. And then that is my 92 stitches because I've counted them. And there we are. It's looking pretty good, isn't it? I love the V-stitch, and the colours are gorgeous. So, right, so we continue doing this for the next 2 rows. Row 8 and row 9 are going to be half trebles. So I'll meet you at the end of those. Right, so when you get to the end of row 9, you fasten off, join the other colour. I join it this side. It's the Ice Pop colour. And join. And you're going to repeat, the next 3 rows are going to be in this colour, and you're going to repeat row 2, which is a double crochet. So at the start of a double crochet, you chain 1 and you do a double crochet into the same stitch as the chain 1, because that chain 1 doesn't count as a stitch, whereas when you did chain 2 and chain 3 for the treble and the half treble, that did count as a stitch. But this one doesn't count as a stitch, so you then do a double crochet into the bottom of the same stitch as your 1 chain. And now you're going to do 3 rows of double crochet. I'm regularly checking your stitch count. I'd still got 92. So all the way along, and do 3 rows, and I'll see you at the end when we've done 3 rows of the Ice Pop. Right, so I've done my 3 rows of the is it Ice Pop, and now we're going to do start with row 13, and it's Earl Grey. So we'll join Earl Grey. And we're doing 3 chain, 2, 3, and that counts as a stitch. And then we're going to do a treble into the next stitch. And the next stitch. And we're going to 3 treble all the way to the end and then turn. Right, so when you get to the end of round 13, you turn, and this is now the wrong side, and you do 1 chain, and then you do 2 double crochets. So it doesn't count, that 1 chain doesn't count as a double crochet, so you'll go into that stitch there. Bye, sweetie. 2 double crochets, and then you do 1 bubble, and you repeat that all the way round. So a bubble stitch is yarn over, insert the hook, yarn over, pull through, and then you draw it through 2 loops, and then with 2 loops remaining, you then yarn over again, insert into the same stitch, yarn over, pull through. So you've got 3 loops, and then again, and you do it again, and you do it so that you end up with 5 loops. So you've actually done four sort of trebles, and then you've got 5 loops, and then you yarn over and pull it through all 5, and that gives you a bubble. And then you do 2 double crochets, so that's 1, 2, and then it gives you that bubble like that. So again, yarn over into the stitch, pull through 2, yarn over again through the stitch, pull through 2, yarn over into the stitch, pull through 2. You've got 4 on there now, yarn over again, pull through 2, and it's 5 on the stitch, and then you pull through all through 5, all through all 5, and then you do a double crochet and another double crochet, and that is what your bubble stitch will look like. And you do that all the way to the end. Right, so when you get to the end of round 4, you turn, and then you see you've got these lovely bubbles, and you should have 30 of them. I've counted mine and I have 30. And then you do row 15, which is a 3 chain, 1, 2, 3, and that counts as a stitch, counts as a treble, and then you treble in every stitch to the end. So that's 1 treble, 2 treble, and then at the top of these bubbles you've got a V-stitch there to treble into. You've got another V-stitch there to treble into, and one here, and another one here. So you've got V-stitch there, and then 2 V-stitches, and then another V-stitch on the bubble, and you do that all the way along to the end. And then you'll fasten off and change to colour F, which I think is peach jelly. Okay, I'll see you at the end. Right, so come to the end of row 15, and for row 16, 17 and 18 you're using this peachy colour, and you're just double crocheting for all 3 rows. So you start with 1 chain, which doesn't class as a stitch, and then you do a double crochet into the same space like that. And then you double crochet all the way along the 92 stitches, and you do that for 3 rows, and I'll see you at the end of row 18. Right, so I've finished row 18, and I've changed to the Go Grape colour, and now we're going to do 19, 20 and 21, and row 19 is the same as row 4, which will be a 3 chain and then 2 trebles in the next stitch, miss a stitch, 2 trebles, so it'll be the same as this one down here. And you'll do that, so you'll do that up to row 21, and then you'll change to H. So I'm going to start with 3 chain, so 3 chain in here, and that counts as a treble. That's 1, 2, 3, and then you're doing a treble in the next stitch and another treble in the next stitch. So that's 3 chain, 2 treble in the next stitch, then you miss a stitch and then you do 2 treble. And again, miss a stitch, 2 treble, and you'll repeat that to the end, and then when you come back you'll be doing 2 trebles in between these trebles here, just like you did down here, and you'll do 3 rows and then you'll change colour. Right, so we come to the end of row 21, and that was this V-stitch effect in the Go Grape, and I'm turning, and I'm going to start on the wrong side with the new marshmallow colour, and I'm going to join it. And I'm doing 2 chain, 1, 2, and that will count as a stitch, and then I'm doing a half treble all the way to the end. So the next stitch I'm doing a half treble. It's 1, oops, and again, and I'm going to do a half treble all the way to the end, and you do this for all 3 rows. So 3 rows of half treble, and then I'll see you at the end. Right, so that's row 24 finished in the marshmallow, and now it's the elderberry, and we're joining, and it's row 25. And this is double crochet, so you do 3 rows of double crochet, and you do 1 chain, and then you do a double crochet, and you do it into the same stitch because this 1 chain doesn't count as a stitch, and then you do a double crochet into every stitch all the way along, and you do this for 3 rows. And I'll see you when you finish those. Right, so I finished row 25, 26, 27 and 28. So there was actually 4 rows of double crochet you did this time. And then we're turning over to start row 29. And what they're saying is that you want to repeat from row 13 to 28 3 more times. Now row 13 is treble row. So I think that is this row here. But you're going to repeat those, and you're going to go through the colours as here, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H and I. And you'll rotate those colours, and you'll repeat from row 13 to row 28 3 times. So I'll come back to you when I've done that. That'll be quite a while. So yeah, so I think it's from this treble row here to be repeating that block 3 more times. Okay, so I'll see you in a bit. Right, so it's given you a few tips. So I've written out row 13 to 28. I'm going to repeat it 3 more times, and it's told us that the bubble row, which is row 14, will be colour A the first time, colour B the second time, and colour F the third time. And then when you repeat again, the last time you repeat just to row 21, and it will be G. So, oh, sorry, I've written that wrong. Colour A, that should be F, and then that is B. Right, yes, A, F and B. and then G, that one. So now I can tick off as I do the rows, alternating the colours. So I might even fill in the colours, I'll see. But yeah, so that's going to give me a clue as to if I'm on the right track. And then I'll see you at the end. Right, so I have finished the main part of the blanket after doing the repeats. Now, it said repeat 3 more times, and I did this little chart so I could follow, and then I ticked it off as I went along. And then you had to repeat again just down to row 21. That's a tip. So yeah, so that's a good tip, to keep an eye on what you're doing. Right, so we're going to do the border. I'll just say one thing, it is rather small. It's but I know it was on the details, but in reality it is rather small, so I'm going to gift it to my granddaughter as a lap blanket for the car. But yes, so we're going to do the border now, so I'll turn you round and we'll start the border. Right, so we're using the royal icing for the border, and it says on here that you're going to join, so you join at the top of the last row, and you work along the top, right side facing, so it'll be this way round with the bobbles facing you, and you work along the top here, and you're doing a double crochet into each of these stitches. Then when you get to the corner, you do a corner which is 2 double crochets, 1 chain, another double crochet, and that's how you turn. Then along this side, she suggests that you do 1 double crochet into every double crochet, 2 double crochet or 1 double crochet into half trebles depending on your tension, and then 2 double crochets into trebles. So it's a bit of guesswork really, how it goes for you. I will probably do 1 double crochet in every half treble and only 2 double crochets in the trebles. I find that usually works for me, and obviously 1 double crochet in the 1 double crochet. But yeah, but I'll see how it goes. Right, so we're starting here. So we're joining in the top of this chain here, and we'll do and it says do 1 chain, and you do 2 double crochets. That one doesn't count as 1, so we need to do 1, 2, and then we're doing 1 chain and then another 2 double crochets. 1, 2, and that is our corner. And now I'm going to do a double crochet all the way along. So we'll start with this stitch here, and then all the way along like that, and I'll see you when we get to the other corner. Right, so I've got to the corner and I'm going to do 2 in here, a chain, and another 2 double crochets, and that's my corner. Now this is part of the V stitch, so it's a treble, so I'm going to do 2 in there. That one as well, I'm going to do 2 in. Now these I think are either half trebles or no, I think they are doubles. So these ones I think are doubles, so I'm just going to do 1 in each. And I think we did 4 rows, didn't we? So it should be 4. So it's really a matter of how it feels, so it's not too baggy as you go round. So I'm going to do 2 in there, 1 in there, 1 in there. Just try and have the similar number, pretty much the same number down the other side, so it matches once you've worked out what you're doing. Right, so here's what I ended up with. It's a bit wobbly. I cut down a lot. I ended up with 106, and I think that's plenty. So I'm going to do the turn now and then carry along the bottom. So that's 2, 1 chain. The dog's sitting on the yarn. 1, 2. So that's my corner. And like I say, I've done 106 along there. Right, so I'm going to go all the way along here and around the other side, and I'll see you once we finish the first row. Right, so I've got to the end here and I slip stitched, and I've just counted and I got 106 stitches here up this side as well, so that's rather good. So yes, so what you do now is you slip stitch to your 1 chain space there. So if we do that, one, 2, and then when you get into your 1 chain space, you do 1 chain, and then you do 2 double crochets, 1, 2, you do a chain and another 2 double crochets, and that's your corner again. Now you just double crochet all the way round doing your corners, and then when you get to round 3 you change colour and you change to... Right, so when you get to round 3 you work with this clotted cream, and you do you repeat round 2, so that's 1 double crochet all the way round, and round 4 will be different, so I'll meet you back here for round 4. Right, so we're now going to do row 4, which is the last row of the border. So I've done 2 double crochet rows in white, and then I've done a double crochet row in the clotted cream, and now I'm going to do the decorative bit. Okay, so you slip stitch to the stitch just before the chain space. Bit tight for some reason. Then you do a treble into the chain space. Then you do a slip stitch into the next stitch, and that gives you a sort of a bit of a curve. Then you do a treble into the next stitch and a slip stitch into there, and you can see you've got a bit of a wavy bit, and you carry on with that. So treble, slip stitch, treble, slip stitch, there. And you do that all the way round, trying to aim for a treble in the chain spaces. Okay, I'll see you at the end. Right, so it's finished, and it's quite a pretty little thing actually. So needs a bit of blocking, in pulling into shape. I'll put some video up at the end of this to show it laid out. But yeah, it's quite a pretty little thing in the end. Small blanket. I think it's about 25 by 30 inches. So it's sort of a child's lap blanket or a cot blanket, I suppose, maybe. Yeah, so all done. Well, I hope yours went well, and I'll catch you later. Bye for now.